Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins and a couple of things. So I looked it up, and yes, that little butterfly on the moon icon thing means that you are getting a romance gauge with that person. So yes. Also, apparently, when you see like the cherry blossom petals across the CG, that is also increasing romance for, I'm assuming, that person, or maybe all the people in it if it's multiple. I don't really know. But anyway, that's that. So yay, now we know. Also, because I was reading trying to figure that out, I decided to scroll down and look. Yes, so actually Okita, who is one of my favorites, right? That's Impei right there. There you go. You're welcome. So for everybody who in Code Realized was like, why don't you love Impei? Well, there you go. Now he's one of my favorites in this one because it's not really the same. It's just the voice actor is the one. I had to look it up. I'm like, he did one of the guys that name starts with an S. He voices Okita, so that's pretty funny. Anyway. What was the other thing? That was, I knew we had to look that up to let you guys know, because I know we kept talking about it, and we couldn't figure out which one of it was. And I really thought it was going to be one of the other two guys. But it's not, so there you go. Butterfly icon thing. Oh, and then the only thing that was really weird to me is I knew that they broke, like, the game and some of the fan disc stuff up into these two games, so this one and Edo Blossoms. But it's funny, because when I looked it up, it was like, oh, Kyoto Wins is like 80 hours of gameplay. But there's only like 5 chapters. But we're on chapter 2. And this is the start of part, what, 6? What? Wait, what? Like, so it is weird. Like, I knew that it, like, broke the game up, so, like, this is going to be totally cliffhanger-y, which is almost douchey if you think about it. Because they're like, oh, here you go, first half of the game, cliffhanger. And you're like, oh, dear God. Anyway, we have both games, so it's not, like, a big a deal. So I don't know how... I mean, there's 3 endings for each guy, so it's not like there's multiple bad endings. There's a bad ending, a good ending, and then there's like a unrequited love ending, which I guess is like a meh, or they probably call it the normal ending. That's not normal. It's like the meh ending, like the like ending, the like super lovey ending, and then like the bad ending. So obviously we're gonna do our one playthrough, see what happens, and then we'll use the guide to go through everything else. And that could be where it's 80 hours of gameplay if you go through every single choice and maybe you reread the entire game over. But I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, we're only in chapter... I mean, the chapters are kind of long, I guess, but I was like, there's only like 5 chapters in this game, and apparently it takes place over multiple years? What? Okay, well, I don't know, we'll figure it out, but yeah, so spoilery a little bit, but not anything of like what happens in rounds. I just know that there's 3 like endings for each person, and I just wanted to look up... I really just wanted to look up, like, okay, what does that little butterfly thing mean? And that's what it means. And apparently, you should be able to tell in their warrior record, like, because we know we have things... Okay, so see... Hold on. Aha! Okay, yeah, so they said something about the tree blossoms. So see, like, he's got no leaves on the tree in the background, but he's got some blossoms on the leaves. So that's good. That means we got romance with him. No romance, romance. But we had one with him. But I guess because we've got 2. Oh, and it says budding. Oh, that's what that means. Okay, I just noticed the little square in the corner. I was like, what does that mean, closed? Like the blossoms are closed, and this means they're budding. Okay, perfect. Oh, that's nice. So you can see how your relationship is with everybody. And obviously, like, we know we've gotten at least... and we could have gotten more, because we could have had some of the petals across the CGs. I never thought about that. I just thought that was, like, an effect in the game. I didn't realize that that meant something. Cool. And once you finish a path, that's when Record of Service is basically like your flowchart. So you can jump ahead and be like, I want to go to Chapter 2 here where I've already hit, and then you can go. So it's an easier way to go through and be like, I want to go to this point and answer that. I mean, we just click skip and read through everything and choose different choices. So whatever. Anyway. I don't know if we'll use that necessarily, but it's there, so that's cool. So that was that. Anyway. The Choshu extremists' attempted attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. Hamaguri Rebellion, the incident wherein the forces of the Choshu domain fought the Shogunate and the Shinsengumi near Hamaguri Gate to regain power in the government after they were expelled. Although the Shinsengumi were called into action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Chikage Kazama, who defeated Okita at I said Okita at Ikeda. Holy fuck, that's wow. Claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. Future boyfriendo. Chikage Kazama, a very skilled man with apparent ties to the Satsuma domain. His extreme strength and prowess with swords rivals that of even the best Shinsengumi swordsman. And we can romance him later. Bad guy. Kyuju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's head guard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma. Oh, isn't he one of our, he might be one of our boyfriendos. I don't know. They had also met Kyo Shiranui. Okay, who'd fought, please don't call him by his last name because that's going to be fucking hard for me to do. Okay, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. I think he might be, we'll have to see. Oh, he's evil. Look, he's got pointy teeth. He's pretty devious. He's gonna have a really scary voice. I don't want to do that. It'll hurt and I won't be able to manage it. He'll talk a lot. A man with incredible skills, he is connected to the Choshu domain. His gunplay is very impressive, and it takes the Shinsengumi by surprise. Well, he's not the one on the cover with the gun. That's what's his face. Hold on. I want to see. Right? No, he's not. Okay. No, I wasn't sure, because we've met Iba. And we've met Chikage before, I knew, and Ryoma we have met. Ryoma we've met, but Kazue is the other guy we have not met yet. Okay. But I've seen the guy with the tattoos on the back of the case, so I was like, he looks familiar. Yeah, he's there, because he's with, Chikage. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. I was like, I can't believe we're gonna, like, romance one of the bad dudes. Like, the other guys, maybe, because, like Chikage, it's, like, cool, because he's like, whatever, I'm not, like, a good guy, I'm not, like, a bad guy, I'm, like, my own thing. I do my own thing. Yo, I do my thing. I'm sorry. I'll stop. No, I won't. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Choshu attack had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the imperial estate to ash. As a result of the Choshu attack, many imperial nationalists were executed. With the Hamaguri rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court. Enemies of the court. A traitor to the court, often used to refer to rebels. Makes sense. So, like, is this like a year later? Chikage's status has been released. Yeah! I doubt we have any romance with him, you know. Still 1864. Now we're into September. We've been here like almost a fucking year, dude. What do we show up in February, March? Several civilian houses were burned during the rebellion. Kyoto needed to be rebuilt, but it looked as if the process would take a while. I did my best to look for my father while we were out on patrol, but try as I might, I couldn't find even a hint of his whereabouts. Did you ever think that maybe he went home, and now you're not there, and like, who's there watching your house? Like, September 1864. Saito and his men had this particular shift, so I joined them. Yeah. The heat in the city was almost unbearable, as if we were inside of an oven. That's how my apartment feels right now, like Jesus. It's like, what is that? Weird bug frog thing? Ooh, it's scary. There was a group of people sitting listlessly at the side of the road. I stopped. They'd probably lost their homes in the fire. Saito... It's Saito. But we just say Saito. It's easier. Okay. Anyway, I'm just making sure that I'm saying it right and I'm not like totally fucking up. But like, yeah, if I say it slightly with an then it, yeah, okay, good enough. He turned around and looked at me placidly. Is something the matter? Are you tired from walking? Oh, no, nothing like that. It was just, I'm hoping to talk to those people. Would that be okay? They might know something about my father. He frowned just slightly. Is that not okay? No, you can go. We have very little time to spare, however. You must be quick. Thank you. I jogged over toward the small crowd of people who looked up as I approached. Excuse me, but I'm looking for someone. He is bald and... Maybe he grew his hair out. I talked to several different people, but none of them knew anything about my father. Dude, it's been so long, and they're like, bitch, I don't have a house. I don't care about your bald man. Was he even still in Kyoto? I mean, you keep going to the same damn spot, so... Could he have gotten involved in the Hamagori rebellion and lost his life? No, that wasn't possible. I mean, it is. He had to be alive. I wiped sweat from my face and desperately tried to convince myself that it was true. Probably because otherwise, it would be like, oh, well, ouch. Saito was walking in front of me when he suddenly turned around and spoke. Are you okay? You seem particularly hot. Oh, yes, I'm fine. I didn't want him to worry, so I smiled brightly. I mean, and that's gonna suck, like 500 fucking degrees and you're wearing all that shit, like, Lord. I'd be like, oh my god, I need a tank top and an ice pool. Very well. If you do feel ill, inform me immediately. I can't afford for you to be incapacitated. Of course, thank you. I knew the only reason he was being so attentive was because Hijikata gave him orders to take care of me, but no. Because he's blossoming into love for you. We're making sure he's blossoming! It was still nice that he was making sure I was okay. What about you? Aren't you hot? You're wearing black, and you've got a jacket on. The heat is unpleasant, but tolerable. What concerns me is what? He frowned almost imperceptibly and laid a hand on his sword. Kyoto's summer is very humid. If I'm not careful, my sword will begin to rust. That's my only concern. I hope autumn arrives soon. It's fucking September, Jesus. He was more worried about his sword than himself. It must be really important to you. The sword is the soul of the warrior. Wow. Look at the grin on his face. He's like, the sword is very important to me. All boys love their swords. But I meant, like, the actual, not the metaphorical one, but also that one too. As he spoke, Saito pulled up short and turned to look at the building in front of which we stood. It appeared to be a sword shop. He was staring at the sword on display, his gaze almost hungry, and it was like watching a child who just discovered a new toy he couldn't resist. What the fuck is that noise? I don't know if it's in the game. Like, I keep hearing a weird-ass noise. I don't know. Like, is my refrigerator, like, fucking, like, making weird noises? Anyway. Saito? He twitched a little in surprise and looked at me. I apologize. We still have a good deal of ground to cover. If we do not hurry, we will be late. He composed himself and walked back toward the rest of his men. He looked really excited. Was that a nice sword? He drew himself up a little as he began to speak. Oh my fucking god. This game hates me. Anyway. It was a Baizen. Oh, that's B. B. He. Yeah. No. Hi. No, that is Bai. It's Bai. Hi. And he is E. Yeah. Hi. Baizen Osafune Kanemitsu. Okay, I'm not repeating that again. We're gonna. An old sword made between the late Kamakura period to mid Nanbokucho period, roughly 1300 to 1350 in the Baizen province. Many legends have formed about it and its uncanny sharpness. Buy for it, what? They say that the best swords are made in Baizen, and if you buy a Baizen, see that it's an Osafune. There are many other Baizen smiths, however, they say that most of the swords in action today are in fact Baizen blades. Oh. He continued to talk about swords for some time. To be honest, I never saw him so talkative before. It seemed a little strange that swords brought him out of his shell, but it was nice. Is something the matter? I don't recall saying anything amusing. Oh, please don't tell me I've said something wrong. Oh, he's so worried about. Oh, no, not at all. Then if I may ask, why were you laughing? What was I going to say? You really like swords, or I think I understand. I don't... I want to get the points, but I don't know what the right answer is. Hard without a guide, guys. You really like swords, but like, I think I understand. I feel like... I mean, yes, we're like, wow, you really like swords. But that's almost like if you're into someone, right? Or even if you're just close to them. If you find the thing that they're talking about weird or you don't get it, you're like, wow, you really like whatever. Weird. Or I don't get it. But when you're like, you know, I may not be into swords or know anything about it, but I get it because I feel that way about something else. You're like, I get it. I get that feeling that you have. Not like for the same thing, but like, you know what? This might not give us the points, but I don't really know much about swords, but I think I do kind of understand how you feel about them. I laid one hand on my kodachi as I spoke. I cherish my sword too. Saito's mouth twitched into a wry, genuine smile. Bonus points? Yes, bitch! Yes, Spacey is a genius! So you find yourself drawn to it as well. Then I have no doubt it will be there for you when you need it most. His tone was as flat as ever, but there was a look in his eyes that I'd never seen before. It was different from when he spoke up in meetings or issued orders to his men. I could see how much he cared about his swords. In any event, we must increase our pace. We've taken longer than I anticipated. You're right. I nodded, but Saito suddenly stopped. I looked over and his face seemed strained. About my delay at the sword merchant. Don't worry, I won't tell Hichikata what happened. He seemed to relax. You're like, I love you. It's okay. I see. That was very childish of me. Is he blushing? He's blushing! That's so cute! I cannot believe I prioritized my own interest over my duty. He hunched his shoulders and walked more quickly. Watching him made me think of how he'd looked when we stopped in front of the shop earlier. He'd been so excited, almost like a child. It made me smile. What are you smiling for? Oh, nothing. Nothing important. Just remembering something. I suppose I needn't ask what you were remembering. No doubt you were laughing at me for neglecting my orders in favor of a sword on display. No, I wasn't laughing at you. There's no need to dissemble. I can hardly blame you for finding my behavior laughable. Though it may not be apparent, I regret my actions. I swear I'll not make the same mistake again. He looked away from me with an attitude that could only be described as sulking. It wasn't that I meant to mock him. There had just been something about his childlike glee that was amusing and cute in a way. But no doubt telling him that would only have upset him more. Come along. Hijikata will likely be waiting for our report. Oh, right. Saito was a quiet, taciturn man, which many people interpret as a show of coldness. But when swords are the subject of conversation, he lit up. And he pouted when I mentioned this. It was a side of him I'd never guessed at, and something about seeing it cheered me up. I want to see if our love record is... New town, who dis? I don't have that. Oh my god, it's the next year. We missed all of winter. It's gonna be hot again. It's the next year, guys, and we're already in chapter 3, and there's only like 5 chapters. So I'm just telling you, this is like part 6, right? Like, I want to see something. It's still just budding. Damn it! How do you get more points? I want it to be like blooming. The dawn of the new year arrived. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready. Oh, thank you, Yukimura. I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill it. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea. There's nothing quite so delicious as hot tea on a cold day. Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present. Oh, I did find out that Hijikata's route is actually the longest. So I don't know if that means between the two games or what, but it is the longest, and it is the one that has the most, like, history in it. So there you go. So he might be a good person to do last. I don't know, but I guess it doesn't really matter. When I was looking to find out what the little butterfly on the moon thing meant and all that, I did double check, and, like, again, everyone's like, there is no spoiling in the routes. It's not like other games where, like, if you do this person's route first, you're kind of gonna fuck up the story. You know what I mean? Or any kind of warnings, like someone should give for Code Realize, like, just don't do Saint Germain's route first, is all. Maybe do that one last, just because of the shock value, but anyway. So there really is nothing like that, so it's okay. The Yagi have been good to use us. The Yagi have been good to use us so far. This place is getting crowded. Has been good to you? Wait. True. It's getting a little small, especially with all the new guys coming in. If we could move to a bigger place, that'd be great. Some of the guys in the dorm look stiffed. Yeah, the guys over at Maekawa residence are practically smushed sushi. The way they sleep? To be a young grunt these days. I pity them. If only there was something we could do. Easy for us to say. But imagine trying to find who else is willing to let us stay at their place. I mean, we are Kyoto's most hated. Sorry, I just want to read his voice in Impei voice now, but I'm not gonna. A person sitting beside Kandu pointed to the map spread up on the table. Huh. This is like, I'm sorry, but is it just me or does this guy look like fucking Cher? What of this? Nishi Hongguanji Temple? Hongguanji Temple? I'm sorry, I do not know what the GW. I did not learn that. Did not learn words with a GW. I did not. But anyway. Nishi Hongguanji Temple. Okay. Nishi Hongguanji, another name for the Jodo Shinshu Hongguanji Temple in Kyoto. It allowed the Shinsengumi to make the temple their headquarters for a period of time. To Nishi the temple. I can't see any reason for them to accept us. But there are no other locations big enough to accommodate a living space for a few hundred men. There are no living spaces! I'm sorry, I can't do the Cher voice, but... And besides, the tactical advantage of this temple would allow us to fortify in times of panic. This man was named Kashitaro Ito, recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. What about Bitchface over here? I don't think Bitchface like Cher getting all up in his shit, is all I'm saying. Kashitaro Ito. Oh, but look at him! He looks so cute in his little thing here, but then you go back to him and he's totally like fucking Cher, like he's had too much face left. Sorry. Military advisor and deputy commander of the Shinsengumi. His field of study is literature with imperialistic philosophy. Sorry, I almost started reading the wrong voice. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito in his dojo, and he is known for his scholarliness. It's like, yeah, you think you can't say Japanese word, I'm gonna throw scholarliness in there to fuck you up. Hokushin Ito. A sword style that was popular in Edo during the Bakamatsu period. Oh, wait. Okay, both Ito and Tondo use this fighting style. Okay, so I was like, why did we have to go read this? This is the exact same thing. It just added, okay, both Ito and Tondo use this fighting style. Which one's Tondo? Oh, it's not Toto. It's not Toto, is it? No, it's Toto. It's not Tondo. Did I miss the... I don't know why I always thought it was a U. No, I don't know. Anyway. I don't know. They throw their last names and I get fucking messed... No, because it would have said Heisuke. Because everyone else calls him Toto. Seriously? That's about the only time it doesn't look like Cher, but seriously. Additionally, it's well known that the Nishi used to shelter the Choshu Ronin. If we move to the Nishi Hongwanji Temple, it would be an advantageous hiding spot from the Ronin. Oh, I see! Very good points. Can't believe you put this much detail into it. Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose. You don't think it's somewhat uncouth to use force against men of the cloth? Ito's brow twitched as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sennen directly. Sa-nan. I know it's sa-nan, but sa-nan. Sa-nan. It's harder to say. Anyway. Glasses. Would you say that to the Choshu Ronin who inhabited the temple and did as they pleased? But aren't you nice, Sanan? You're even considering the feelings of outlaw Ronin who actively disrupt the peace of Kyoto. Ito's deflection of Sanan's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sanan. Can we just call him Keisuke? Keisuke. That's actually K. Keisuke? God, that's hard. Never mind. His whole fucking name is different. Glasses. We're just gonna call him Glasses from now on. Unless you do pronounce the U in his name. I don't know, because I know sometimes you don't. Kaisuke? Could be Kaisuke. Could be Kaisuke. I don't know. Sometimes you pronounce the U, and sometimes you fucking don't, okay? It's really confusing. There's some words you don't pronounce it at all, and sometimes you do, and it's just... And I don't know with names. I don't. Keisuke. I know we pronounce his name wrong, but we pronounce all of it wrong. I'm sorry, there's certain words that I just can't get my head around sometimes, and then once I've gotten it stuck in my head the wrong way, it takes a while. I'm like 6 parts in. Anyway. I agree that this extremist imperial nationalist party must be dealt with, but this seems... Whoa! Hi! Who are you? I'm sorry, I'm just staring at blue-haired McPretty up in here. Damn. So what are you saying? I don't know what his voice is supposed to sound like. Besides, if he's a side character that we're not going to romance, I don't give a crap. When we meet in battle, do you expect him to respect the Shinsengumi and on name alone, and to engage in a fight fair and square? Wouldn't it be just peachy if all those Choshu Ronin were on their best behavior, like a Kamakura warrior? Usaburo. Is he your other dude? Is he? Is he? I don't know, because sometimes I think they are and then they're not. Saburo, watch your mouth now, darling. Darling? I don't know, he's pretty. No, it's not. It's not, is it? Why, God, where is he? Why can't we date him? It's not. I can never remember, because, like, he's... Damn. Why they got all the fine ones as ones we can't date? Like, I'm serious. I mean, like, if they were gonna, like, put into game, like, let's have you, like, romance some people. They'd be putting Cher in there and not Hotness McGee in the middle. Like, Hotness up in here, like, I'd just be knocking that shit over. Like, I just... Go. It would be so fucking difficult if all the pretty ones we keep seeing in the background, you're like, why can't we romance him? What the... Where is his path? He is lickable. Like, he looks like a lollipop, and I just want to taste, like, blue raspberry up in here. I need some of that shit. Don't get me wrong, Glasses, I still love you, but, I mean, let's face it. He's hotter. Look, Glasses, just look at me. He's blinking at me with that look. See, but that's why I love Glasses, because you look like a bastard. You look like you're gonna punch me and cry, and I'm down with that, but I also want I want the guy in the middle, man. What the heck? Oh, I would trade some of the other guys that we have in our path, like, that we can go down for him. I'd trade a couple of them. Like, you can have these 3 for that one. I'm not even kidding. Because some of them just don't float my boat, and he floats my boat. So I'm saying. Damn it, game. My mistake. Couldn't help myself. We don't have to worry about his voice because he's a side character, so fuck it. The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, it was Ito's younger brother by blood. Really? Because you got Cher up in here, and you got Gorgeous. I don't understand. Wow, look at him! Saburo Miki. Captain of the Shinsengumi's 9th Division. Why can't we romance him? He is Kashitaro Ito's younger brother. They joined the Shinsengumi together. I was going to say at the same time, and then I was like, together. I can't read. My apologies, everyone. This young one here has a tendency to let his mouth run free, you see. So, Sanan, don't take it too personally. See, like, I don't want to romance Cher, so I'm okay that he's not in her path, but I want to romance fucking Miki over here. I do. I'm gonna... I'm sure we need a person like you to make the Shinsengumi succeed. That sounds really fucking like... So shade. So shade. Even if your left arm is useless, your indubitable wit and book smart shall prove useful, I'm sure. Oh my god, he just grew a weeping willow a shade. I watched Asanan bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. Wow, Cher. He does not believe in life after love over here. Just, Tension was cut by another voice. Perhaps I didn't hear you correctly, Ito. Ito. Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a whetstone. I can't make the noise. I can't make noise. Ito seemed taken aback and his eyes grew wide. Son's smart, like you said. But above all, he's a swordsman of the Shinsengumi. He is not useless and he is not replaceable. Get it through your head. Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. Oh, like, Hijikata seems so, like, mean, but I think he's a marshmallow. I think he's the marshmallow, guys. However, but my arm is... He couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. The thing I love about glasses is he wears glasses and he looks like a book nerd. And he looks like he'd be really like, guys, I gotta make some accounting, okay, guys? Like, seriously, you can't keep spending money. I can't pay it. He really does. And then, like, you can just imagine that he's, like, freaking, like, hot shit with a sword. And it's just, like, it kind of doubles the sexy. You're, like, a really good warrior, but you're also, like, a book nerd. And I'm like, wow. You're like, double the pleasure, double the fun. I'm so wildly wrong. Oh, guys, you know what we do when we play these games. It's inappropriate. But you know what I mean? He's like double trouble. You're like, you just don't expect that. You just expect him to be like, I'm just the accountant. Pushes up his glasses with the middle finger, you know, like, And meanwhile, he's over there like, I will kick your fucking ass. You know, but only one-armed. He could still be a really tough fighter one-armed, is all I'm saying. Like, that's pretty impressive. I'd say he could be better with one hand than we are with two hands, but we're also a girl, and he's been trained better, so he should be. But still, you know, he's better than most people one-handed. And most people are two-handed, that's all I'm saying, I guess. You know what I'm saying. He couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sanan of what he used to be, causing Sanan to curl his lips into a frown. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause such a fuss. Next time I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Wow, you're a bastard. Sanan is quite the beloved member here, isn't he? It's nice to see such a tight-knit group. It's just that, as I'm sure you've thought about it, I hope the new members share that sentiment. Hichikata's eyes seethed with anger toward Ito. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air. Well, for now, let's keep business strictly in terms of finding a new headquarters location. Ito, would you mind coming with me? I would love to continue our earlier discussion about a new base. Sure, I'd love to. He should be swarming. And then he's over there like... This guy's new? This guy's new, and he's taken over my job, because he has the same title as this bitch. And this bitch was kind of a nasty, aggressive, like... motherfucker, okay? I'm kind of on bitch's side over here. Like, drama bitch. Like, how dare this ass... I know, right? How dare Cher come up in here and take your shit? You go get him, Madonna. Like, I know Cher came before Madonna. Like, whatever. I know, time. But, like, I'm just saying. I couldn't think of a really good, like, you know, hair. Somebody with hair. I don't know. Think of somebody with hair for me. Got like Farrah Fawcett hair over here, but it's two totally different genres, like music and TV. I'm old. Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them. Chief Kondo, may I join as well? Of course! I want you to hear what Ito has to offer and broaden your views. Even the captains of the Shinsengumi must push themselves to learn more than fighting. It's our responsibility to grow and gain knowledge, to expand our horizons. Yes, sir. I don't know their name, their voices. I just forget them, but whatever, who cares? Who cares? They're side characters, we can't do them, so whatever. They're not important. Kondo left the common room with Ito and Miki, left the common room with Ito and Miki, who still sat before us. God, why can't we romance you? You're so fucking pretty. He smirked coldly towards us, and he slinked off to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible. Ugh, who brought those bastards into the Shinsengumi? Culprit's still in Ito. Damn it, Heisuke. When he gets back, I'm gonna give him a few punches. Ito is with the Imperial Nationalist Party. Surprising to see people with the same beliefs as those Choshu bastards joining the Shinsengumi. Well, nationalists think themselves to be above the Choshu for whatever it's worth. I mean, the Imperial Nationalist Party is... Well, just listen to the bullshit he was going on about the other day. It seems as though he's rubbed off on Kondo as well, which is a poor influence in my opinion. Well, Kondo is a kind person. He's easily deceived by silver tongues. Those appear virtuous, but are real scumbags. So, Ito is our deputy commander, and his little brother is the captain of the 9th Division, huh? That's gonna be a real bitch. Hijikata's rubbed off on him, is all I'm saying. Eventually, Hijikata approached Sanan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame. I know, they're gonna replace him. What's he gonna do? He's just gonna be like a teammate like us. It's okay, I'll teach you how to make tea. It's not hard, but I'll teach you. I mean, okay, it's probably hard the real way. I just throw a tea bag in some hot water and we're good. Like... Sanan, don't listen to that asshole, okay? Sanan laughed dryly and shook his head. He is well educated and a skilled orator. Not only that, he is good with the sword. With such a gifted deputy commander, I suppose the Shinsengumi has little need for a colonel. Hey, Sanan! Sanan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall. This makes me feel so bad for him, and I can't wait till we romance him and make him feel better about himself. Because he has like some self-esteem issues now that he got hurt. But it's so sad that he got hurt right off the bat, but I guess it gives him more of an interesting story. Like, no offense to Shinpachi, right? But like, he's like so Rambo, and like, I want like Miki, I want that guy, I want him in there. I would trade Shinpachi and Heisuke, no offense to him, but like, just not, meh. I would trade them both for like Hotness McGee back there. Like, I don't know. They always make the pretty ones like unromanceable. You're like, what's that guy? Even bitch face Barbie, like we can't figure out with the hair. He's gorgeous. You're like, you're a douchebag, but you're hot. That hair is sexy. Makes up for his douchiness. You're definitely not a marshmallow. You are just a big fucking boulder, but I don't even care. Pretty. He's probably too much of a dick, but... Man, I feel bad for him. Even the men are avoiding him these days. What? But why? Well, can't blame him. No matter what you say to him, he takes it the wrong way. And no matter what you say, he acts like such a smug smartass. So the warriors are intimidated and want nothing to do with him. No, poor Sanan. Even though I haven't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sanan was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury. Hey, Hijikata, can't you come up with some bullshit excuse to kick Ito out? Ever since they arrived, it's been nothing but bad vibes and sour moods. You know damn well I cannot do that. I mean, look at the way Kondo fawns over Ito. Besides, he brought a large force of men behind him when he joined. You think they won't make a stink if he were to just disappear? I mean, accidentally kill him? Well, damn! Aren't you supposed to be the demon? The commander from hell? You're supposed to make the impossible happen. Fine, Soji. How about we make you commander? Then you can kick Ito and his guys out, right? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Oh no, that's way too much trouble. The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seemed no one spoke in his defense. Well, yeah, well. Only one, during all of this, quietly sipped his tea. Oh. I kind of forgot he was here. Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup. Huh. So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining us, that is. As an organization grows, it will expand to include people who have differing ideas and points of view. So then, however, if one attempts to force this sort of diversity, then the organization will begin to rot from within. His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considerate of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster. The thing is like, this is the way we do things. You would hear, that'd be like, me joining the military and being like, oh my god, so you really think that our uniform should be like purple and glittery? Because, like, I'm different. They'd be like, this is how we do shit in the military, bitch. There is no fucking glitter. And I would cry because glitter is life. I'm sorry, whatever. Sorry, planet. I love glitter. Whatever. But that's exactly what's happening. These guys are rolling in like, well, I'm gonna change your shit. And Kondo is like, okay, no. Just no. And maybe a little bit of no with a side of fucking no. No! I don't know. Anyway. The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came onto the yard, and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. We were literally just complaining how fucking hot it was, and now it's like ready to be spring again. I know, but we missed so many months. We missed so many months of shit, and I feel like I can understand if they skipped a little bit, but I'd almost want something in the middle. Even just like, oh, I went out in the car and have a conversation so that you could have a conversation and like maybe help push your relationship with your boy up a little bit more. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sanan and his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately the lack of it, was a source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would be for Sanan's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered. If push comes to shove, he'll have to take it. I don't think Sanan's just gonna give up. Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies. Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. But I was not to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. Oh my god, I don't... Fuck it. I'm gonna muster the courage to look into this. Where should I investigate? My room is in the Yagi house. There are some rooms that I'm not allowed to enter, but the captains live here as well, and I'd finally learned how to navigate the building. However, there was another building that was part of the headquarters for the Shinsengumi, aside from the Yagi house. Some of the leaders, along with other warriors, lived in the Maekawa house, diagonal from Yagi. And Sanan, who's injured, has been holed up in the Nambu residence, located behind Yagi. Nambu residence? Located in the back of the Yagi residence, Sanan takes refuge here after suffering injuries, and it is later used to hide other Furies. Since it's a residence, one cannot just stroll there casually, and since it's barely used by anyone other than Sanan, it is a little isolated. Oh, I was saying the wrong button. If there's secrets being kept from me, then they have to be kept in a place I'd never think to check. If I were to look into it, it would either be in the... or the forbidden area... in the blank... or the forbidden areas of the Yagi residence. Okay, I don't... So I think I'm supposed to be... What should I look into? Well, they said Nambu is the one that, what's his face is in, right? So I feel like maybe we should go there. Because there's less people there, less chance of getting caught. Okay. Sure. What the hell? Once I was quite sure everyone in the Yagi house was asleep, I made my move. So far, so good. Maybe if you don't talk out loud, though. Luckily, I was able to get to the entrance without anything happening, and I sighed with relief. What's so good so far? The surprise of seeing someone froze me. Are you a little bold one, huh? Trying to want to run away behind our backs. Okita, well, I'm not. You sure about that? You are literally in front of me, sneaking around at night. How can I not assume you're escaping? Well, look, it's not like that. How was I supposed to explain to him? Tell him the truth. The more I panicked, the more I choked up. I'm just messing with you. I mean, unless you were escaping, then I'll slit your throat. I don't know why I love him. He's kind of a douche. But I love that. Like, I'm kidding. Unless you really are leaving, then I'll kill you. Fair enough? Wait, what? I mean, how the hell could you possibly survive all by yourself out there anyway? You're right. He was right. Even if I somehow managed to escape the Shinsengumi, I would lose my best chance at finding my father. Well, whatever you're doing, knock it off. Kids shouldn't play around in the middle of the night. You don't want to get yourself killed because of something you didn't do, right? Yeah, maybe Okita was right, but it was reckless of me to investigate the serum, and thoughts swirled in my head before Okita spoke up again. Well, if you see something scary, just make sure you scream right away, alright? Don't try and deal with it yourself, okay? You understand what I'm saying. Huh? He sounded rather serious for a moment. What do you mean by something scary? What could I run to in the Shinsengumi headquarters that could possibly be as scary as he thinks? He looked almost surprised for a moment, his face breaking into a wry grin. Oh, you know, like a nightmare or a ghost or something. Or hey, who knows? You might run into our commander, the demon. That does sound scary. If Hijikata found out that I was walking around the compound without permission, I'm gonna go back to my room now. It's like, good girl. It's wisest to go to sleep. I'll just go finish patrolling the inner courtyard then. Okita started to hum as he walked away. He's like, I'm just gonna go to the inner courtyard and then I'm gonna make myself a sandwich and take a nap for about 42 minutes. Wink, 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 wink. And then he walks away and you're like, oh, he was just basically telling us to go. I didn't expect to be found, especially by Okita, of all people. There was no way I could sneak into the Nanbu house behind his back. Maybe I can investigate the Yagi house before going back to my room. Wait, I was so surprised I hadn't stopped to think. Why was Okita up so late? It was as if he expected someone to leave the Yagi house, but there's no way he could have known I would try. If not me, then who? It was night at the Yagi house and dead silent. I tiptoed down the halls as quietly as possible. Too many people. Huh. Were my ears playing tricks on me, or did someone just walk into the common room? I would be in trouble if someone saw me, so I did my best to blend into the shadows and hide. After a few moments of heart-pounding seclusion, my curiosity got the best of me. I departed my hiding place and crept toward the common room. I peered inside. Inside was Sanan. I wonder why. Something felt wrong. I just stood there. What is Sanan doing here late at night? I was at a loss. Should I speak to him or... Before I could make up my mind, he turned. I was like, maybe we should talk. If it was going to give me the option, it was like, go talk to him. Not that we need to get our romance up. Like, I don't think it stays if you start the game over or, like, go to the back to the beginning. You know what I mean? And, like, we can go back to our first choice, basically, you know, and just start the game from there. But I don't think it changes, like, your romance with the character. I think you have to start over. You know what I mean? So, like, when we go down his path, whatever we do in this doesn't make a difference. I don't think. I don't know. We'll find out. I doubt it would. But I never thought it would be you who would catch me. How unexpected. Sanan gazed directly at me and muttered. You're there, aren't you, Yukimura? Come out. I guess he spotted me. I gave up and made myself visible to Sanan. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was snooping or watching what you were doing. Well, I don't plan on scolding you. I mean, if you see a suspicious shadow in the middle of the night, of course you'd be curious. Yeah, exactly. It was very subtle, but I noticed something was off in Sanan's attitude. He had a peaceful smile. Something I hadn't seen for what felt like ages. It was a bit too peaceful, as if his worries had suddenly left him. It was an expression I've never seen since he'd gotten injured. Sanan, did something good happen? Why, yes, something did. Or rather, I guess I finally made up my mind. Something swished in his hand. Oh no. Sanan, what is that? You're wondering what this is, I imagine. That's what I just asked! If you're so not listening, you're like, oh my god, are you deaf? I just asked. After his cryptic reply, he showed me what was in his hand. Sanan was holding a small bottle made from fine hydro. Refers to glass, also called poppin. Poppin. Whoops. The glass was filled with a crimson liquid that looked like a poisonous chemical to me. This is a secret treatment developed by your father at Kyoto, under orders from the shogunate. What? The shogunate ordered my father to do something? They say it first appeared out west. The contents of this tiny vial can utterly transform a person. What do you mean by utterly transform? To put it simply, it makes them stronger and heightens their recuperative abilities. That sounded like something out of a fairy tale. If such a thing were to truly exist, the serum would be considered a miracle cure, but there is, however, a rather serious flaw. His smile twisted only a little. I suppose you could say it was too strong. It worked as advertised, but it drove its patients mad. You've seen the results yourself, haven't you? Of course. I'd seen the result of that madness the night I first met the Shinsengumi. Okita and Saito had killed off that monster with the white hair. Your assumptions are correct. Yes, those warriors you met are of that ilk. They were no longer capable of what one might call rational thought, and were little more than bloodthirsty monsters. His words brought a sharp chill down my spine. How horrible. If they lose control whenever they see blood, then they're hardly much use in battle, aren't they? As unkillable as they may be. Kyoto conducted experiments on the core during the development of his treatment. No! My father? To conducting experiments on human beings that made them go mad at the sight of blood? I couldn't believe it. No, I didn't want to believe it. There was no reason for Sanan to lie, either. I saw it before my very eyes. Did father really... Sanan shrugged off my disbelief and continued. Unfortunately, when he disappeared, his research was put on hold. This vial here represents the fruits of my own personal research, based on what he left behind. He smirked and shook the bottle gently. The liquid inside sloshed from side to side, almost lazily. I diluted it as much as possible. I had so many questions to ask him, but I didn't even know where to start, so I simply spoke the first thing that came to mind. I was trying to say my mind, and I went, mind. If you drink that, will you be okay? So that serum, will it prevent you from going mad? To be quite honest, I'm not entirely sure. I've never tested it on anyone. His smile faded. If I take this, my arm will heal. Assuming, of course, I've mixed it correctly. You mean you're actually considering taking it? He had no guarantee that it wouldn't simply kill him outright. And even if he did survive, it might well drive him insane. Sanan, please reconsider this. I'm sure there's some other way. You don't need to rely on the... I have no choice. This is the only way to heal this damn arm. I'm already useless here. Even the men have begun to speak ill of me behind my back. But I don't. You'll never understand me. Oh! He's that kind of drama queen. You'll never understand me. Oh, and I'm gonna try, and then okay. I came all the way to Ito alongside my comrades, whom I thought were behind me. And now I'm left here, given a position out of pity and left to wallow in my own uselessness. How could you say it's pity? You're a leader here. The Shinsengumi and needs you now more than ever. Sanen's eyes dotted with melancholy, flashing a brief smile that entertained the idea behind my words. Ah, yes, I remember it well. I am a swordsman of the Shinsengumi, yes? And I am not useless, right? Sanen seemed bitterly focused on the words Hijikata said earlier. It really did affect him. There is no life for me as a swordsman. You're asking me to continue in some sort of undeath. Let me die as a person as well. No! It's not decided that it'll fail. The odds against success aren't as terrible as you think. Sanen smiled as he said that, but there was no way to know what might happen to him. Considering the worst that could happen, I couldn't sit by and allow him to do this. I persuade him. I don't think screaming at him would. I still don't think you should take that serum. There's a higher chance that it'll fail, right? If the others knew that you were here doing this, they would all try and stop you. Although, Okita did tell us to scream. Fuck. I was like, why would I scream? Oh, shit. Oh, bad move. This was probably a bad move. It's okay. It's alright. Mistakes happen and we get to do this all over again. I'm sure Toto would be greatly disappointed. He is a good man. I thought at first that he was beginning to reconsider, but my faint hope was shattered with words of resignation. Well then, if I should die, please give my regards to Toto. What? I really am in hell now. To be pitied even by the likes of you. Hey! Hey! Hey, Glasses! Let's not be a dick! Those were his last words. He suddenly gulped down the red liquid stored in the bottle of, fine Idro. No! The bottle slipped from Sanen's hands and crushed into 1,000 tiny bits on the floor. A scarlet drop oozed down from the corner of his lips. Oh, God. Sanen crumbled to the floor. Oh, dear God. Sanen! I paused, uncertain. He groaned in agony and pulled his hand back to grip his chest over his heart. Did we kill him? That would be bad. That would be really bad. I mean, we know what not to do in his path if he dies, is all I'm saying. It's clear he was suffering. We also know what not to do every other time from now on, but... Hang in there! I'll go get someone right now! I took a step forward, about to place my hand gently on his back. Ah! His right arm whipped out, almost too fast to see, and threw me across the room. I slammed into the wall and slid to the floor. I could barely breathe. Where the fuck is Okita? Like, where the fuck is he? Like, we screamed. We've screamed several times now. What an asshole. My vision went blurry for a moment. I coughed once and looked up. Oh my God. Just in time to see Sanen land on top of me, his hands already reaching for my throat. Oh, yep, that was bad. Oh, dear God. Herk! His right arm reached for my throat, and he relentlessly started to choke me, and that crackling, choking noise is the same noise that was in Code Realize. I like when they reuse sound effects. It's fun. The hands around my throat were Sanen's, but the man behind them was someone else. His silver white hair glistening in the dim light. I'm sorry, we killed him by not screaming. I thought pleading with him might, like, ingrain us to him a little bit. I was like, let's try that. No, screaming would have been better, because then Okita would have come and would have stopped him, maybe. Maybe it would never help. One of them has to have stopped him, because he can't be like this in every path, right? Because, I mean, hello. He's one of our romancy dudes. If he wasn't, I'd be like, well, no, you know. His bright, maddening red eyes showing through his bangs. I knew those eyes. His eyes, the eyes of a predator, not a man. I saw eyes just like that the night I arrived in Kyoto. Those creatures in the alley drenched in blood. Monsters. As he choked me, I desperately tried to keep breathing. No, this wasn't a monster. This was Sanen. He was still the man I knew. Sanen! Suddenly, the fingers around my neck loosened. Gah! Had he just let me go? I crumbled to the floor and I gasped for air through a throat still red with his handprint. My tearful eyes caught sight of Sanan, whose hair now shined white brightly. Interesting. Well, I see I've failed then. Perhaps I'm not as lucky as I thought. In the depth of those red eyes, there was a faint sign of reason. Sanan, are you back? Yukimura, I have a favor to ask of you. Please, kill me while you have the chance. What? His words weren't registering in my head, and I could do nothing but look into his eyes. I failed. I can already feel my mind starting to go. At this rate, I will kill you. No! In this moment, memories of when I'd first arrived in Kyoto and of the Ikeda incident. I don't know why I can't read that. I want to read it as like IKEA. Like I can't. Ikeda. I want to say Ikeda, but it's Ikeda. 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 Not Ikeda. Like I don't know why I cannot fucking say that. I don't know. Anyway. Flashed before me. I witnessed so many deaths in this time. I came to terms with the idea that for a member of the Shinsengumi, death is a constant. But never could I imagine taking someone's life. Most of all, Sanan's. No, I can't. I couldn't do that. I mean, you're still you, Sanan. Aw! We got love points with him, and then we're gonna stab him? I just feel like... What is this before me? Is this beauty? In spite of everything, you have faith. Even so, show the mercy of death so that I may pass. Sanan shouted at me and grabbed my collar. What? I could see his red eyes flickering. I mean, it was like, oh, we gotta, oh, no. Oh, he's getting violent with us. We knew he would, Glasses. Sanan struggled with his remaining willpower to fend against the madness boiling inside of him. If you don't kill me, then you will die. I know you're only here by chance. I am sorry that I must ask you to do this. I am so sorry. His right hand slid off my throat, and I felt it land on the hilt of my sword. Huh? What is he doing? As I stood there confused, Sanan's fingers wrapped around the handle and began to pull. Oh no, no! Too late I realized what he meant to do, and I felt ice creep up my spine. Sanan, please, you can't! Is his sword too long to stab himself with? Is all I'm saying. I tried with all my might to pry his arm away and prevent him from drawing my sword, but... It's made the task much harder, but a blade in my heart will kill me as dead as any other man. I can't kill me. He spoke in starts and stops now, as tendrils of madness began to pull him under. Please, let me die. I can't imagine we're gonna actually kill him or he's actually gonna die. Maybe like we stab him or whatever and he doesn't die and then he gets over, because like we just got a love point with him and I just feel like getting a love point with him is really weird if he's just gonna die. Like, oh, he died. So that love point was fucking useless is what you're telling me. I don't know. My sword was now completely drawn and he pointed it towards his breast over his heart. Sanan! Just as the white shining tip of the blade was about to pierce his heart, Okita to the rescue. Kya! Sanan screamed in anguish, dropping the sword he was gripping. Sanan? What just happened? When I ran towards him, Sanan collapsed to the floor. Sanan, hang in there! Sanan! I ran over to him and rushed to check his pulse. Wait, I think that was supposed to be us saying that, not... I read that as us, and then I realized after I was reading, I'm like, wait, why did it have his name at the top? I don't think he's telling himself. He's still breathing. He only lost consciousness. This alone gave me a great feeling of relief, but suddenly the door behind me slid open, and you're like, seriously? How long have we... He's like, hey, are you screaming in here? Like, you really did take a 42-minute nap, you asshole. I rushed to look back when... Spacey. Sanan. Okita. Like, where the fuck are you? Everyone is deaf. There's, like, paper-thin walls, you motherfuckers. Nobody heard this shit? Sanan, he's... Okita had a cold expression. Let me get a look at him. His eyes narrowed, and I saw them flicker around the room, from Sanan's limp body to myself, to the shattered vial. Okita's mouth tightened, and he bent down to lift Sanan off the floor. When you drink that stuff, supposedly your body just can't handle it. Hurts like hell. You start to lose it. He probably couldn't take it and just passed out. Oh. After finding that it wasn't life-threatening, I felt a pang of relief. Well, the real painful part comes later. We can't afford for Sanan to die just yet, so make sure he hangs in there. His tone was surprisingly detached considering the circumstances, and Okita picked up Sanan before leaving the room. Once they left, I collapsed to the floor out of his supreme exhaustion and slumped into myself. I finally tapped into the secrets of the Shinsengumi. For so long it was kept from me, and now their forbidden secrets were revealed. My mind went blank due to confusion and fear, but I knew what I saw. This is the perfect place to stop. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this. Shh, don't read that. Don't read it. Guy, don't read ahead. Stop reading ahead, damn you. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.